Hi everyone. So this week we are reflecting on what it means to build patterns and anticipation in my future online classes. And so for me, first off, in my opinion, building patterns and anticipation in an online course means having a predictable and reasonable organization to the class in terms of its schedule for coursework and also in its design. And this is so that students can navigate the course content in such a way that they can focus on their work and not be distracted by details such as wondering when assignments are due. And so to better explain this, I will describe how I will implement this in my 6-week online summer teacher training class, which is about integrating technology into the language classroom. So the first step is design, the design of the course. And when I'm designing a class in a course management system, the first thing I would like to do is have it look like other classes in the sequence, if there are other classes in the sequence. For instance, this class, the class we're taking right now, it's part of the instructional design sequence in CEHD. And all of those classes have had a similar look and feel thanks to their Ning sites, which I find refreshing. I know where things are, I know where the syllabus is, I know what I have to do. It's very predictable because this is the third course that I've taken in this sequence. So if I'm designing a course and it's part of a sequence, I would like for it to have a similar look and feel than other classes in the sequence. If that look and feel isn't great, then I would try and make some subtle improvements but still go with the familiar. However, if you're designing a course that's not part of the sequence, or if you're the instructional designer who has to create the sequence, then I think you need to strive to create a welcoming design. My summer class is not part of a sequence, so I'm free to do whatever I want and create, hopefully, a pleasing design. What is pleasing design? Well, this idea is subjective, but that said, our current course is an excellent example of it. This course, it's easy to navigate, it's aesthetically attractive, it has different venues for course-related and non-course-related discussion, we all have our own home page, etc. Clearly, it was designed very thoughtfully with elements of good design in mind. And we have discussed this before in previous weeks, so I won't spend a lot of time talking about this here. I would like my summer course to have all of these elements. And my summer course can include some of these elements, but it's still going to look different because it's in Blackboard. Blackboard is mandated by the university where I teach, and so I have to use it. And to me, Blackboard is aesthetically challenging, but even within those confines, I can change the fonts and the color palette to something that looks good. And I think it's important to go for a streamlined look. First and foremost, one that doesn't have too many fonts and not too many colors and not too many pictures. In the past, I wanted to look lively, and so I had this sort of font madness approach, which was no good. First and foremost, your course has to be easy to use. Something I read in Curriculum and Instruction 5336 was that good design has a welcome mat. So in addition to being good looking, course design needs to make it clear to students how they should get into the site and what they should do at any given time. And our current site presents information this way. There's the weekly schedule of what you need to do, but then there's also information about what's going on in the future. And so we can use the hyper-reading strategies that Spiegel describes in her articles. And so I would like to do this in my summer course. I would like to have a weekly checklist of what you have to do, but then also afterward a longer description for deeper reading, so that it's clear to students, what the in-depth about their articles. I also really liked Spiegel's use of the Wingding fonts for the different types of tasks. I think this is useful as well. So that's design. Next step is deployment. How do you set this course into motion? And I think especially at the beginning of the class, this is important. So since email is the universal communication medium, what I do is I send, pardon me, I send students an email message with a link to the site course when it's ready. And in the past, I hadn't opened the course ahead of time, but now I will. Conrad's research that we read this week pointed out that students overwhelmingly want to access the course ahead of time, which is of course useful for overscheduled adult learners, or in my case, teachers who want to plan their summers. But I'm not going to make the commenting function available until the course opens, like the official first day of course, to eliminate this anxiety that Conrad mentions when students log in and they feel like they're already behind because there's already 80 messages on the course site. Something else that I found interesting in the Spiegel article, which I found true in my course as well, was students need to get administrative information in the first week. And so for this, I think going forward, I'm going to create a screencast for the course showing where the different info is. Where is the syllabus? Where are the different message boards? And then after that, include a short online quiz that students have to take until they get 100% so that I know that they know where they find info. I'm also going to ask students to post a self-introduction on the message board within the first 96 hours of class. So this would be on the first Wednesday of class. And then by Thursday, email students who do not post their self-introduction on the message board. My course is short, it's only 6 weeks long, and everyone needs to get on board right away. And also this is going to establish my social presence to students. It lets them know that I'm in the background, but I am there, and that they, I'm making sure that everyone is going with the flow. But going forward, I'm not going to be posting to the discussion boards with the students until Friday each week. If students, if their discussions are due on Wednesday, I'm not going to log in until after their discussions are due so that the students will have sufficient time to talk to each other. But this is getting into our next point, which is about patterns and anticipation in the course. So in terms of patterns and anticipation, clearly it's necessary to have predictable schedules for online courses, more so than in traditional courses. Something that worked well in my class was 2 deadlines every week. The course opens on Monday, reflections to the readings are due on Wednesday, responses to the classmates' reflections, and then students' assignments, which are lesson plans that the students have created for their students, which build on the lessons, or which build on the readings, are due on Saturday. And within this pattern are weekly welcome videos from me to introduce each week in a new topic on Monday. I like the idea that we learned previously about allowing students to post reflections in a variety of media, like we are doing right now, and I'll implement this rather than having all of the reflections be written. And my feedback to students' postings will be sporadic, more on the as-needed basis, sort of like the shepherd that was mentioned in Conrad's article. I reply to students when they ask for help specifically, or if they get really off topic in their discussions. And I email them as needed as well. Their course grades are on the Blackboard site, so there's no question for them about what their grade is. And I try to get feedback to them on their assignments. The assignments that are due on Saturday night, I try to have graded on Sunday or Monday just to keep things moving along quickly. I like the idea that was mentioned of having 2 major assignments instead of 10 or even 6 smaller ones. And so I'll think on how I can add this into my course. My course builds on itself in that it starts small. It begins with us investigating text-based technology. Then it moves on to audio, which is a little bit more complicated. Then it moves into video. And then it ends with students creating a course site, either in Google Sites or WordPress or a CMS of their selection. So it's not unlike our course in that way. So that is how I would build patterns and anticipation into my course. And I want to end my video with a question, because this notion of a fixed schedule causes me some stress. In my face-to-face semester-long course, we adjust the schedule as necessary. If students are confused, I can build in some more time. If things are going really well, we can move faster. But in the online environment, when we have this very, very fixed, rigid schedule, that's not so easy. And so if anyone else has experience with this or has ideas about how to navigate this, I would love to hear it. Thank you.